Welcome back to the His and Hers Podcast, episode 69.
Ooh.
We're about to get freaky.
Hey.
Just kidding. I don't think YouTube will allow that.
Just
Not
kidding.
This time. Not
is
this time.
Not freaky. No, I was kidding.
What?
He is low key freaky.
No, I'm not. I don't want to. I'm not freaky.
I don't want to get into it. You see how shy he gets, you guys. He be trying to act like he ain't got 3 kids.
I don't know.
How did you get
I don't
there? I
know
wonder
how. I don't know how that happened. I remember when you got pregnant with Mila, I was like, how does this keep happening? I don't get it.
God.
Genuinely, all 3 surprised me. I was like, what?
Yeah, you were surprised by
Each
all
one of
3
them,
of your kids.
Not
one of them was like,
like,
oh, yeah, I expected this to happen.
yeah, I'm not surprised. No, each time I was like, what?
It was just like.
The more it kept happening, the more surprised I got. I was like, what is going on?
You know what I low-key, I don't think resent is the proper word, but I'm low-key a little bit annoyed. I'm a little bit annoyed by the fact that you were so up in my grill all the time that I didn't get to experience, like, telling you, like, surprising you, like coming up with a cute way to surprise, you that I'm pregnant. Either time, you were in the bathroom with me both times. Yeah. And, like, both times, okay, well, Ezra, I did invite you, but Mila, I was just like, I was minding my business and walking to the bathroom, and you were like, oh, that means both of us.
Yeah, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, all up in my business.
I remember you went into the bathroom, and I had a feeling, and I was like, what are you doing? And you were like, oh my God, can you get out of here?
You don't have to do the whole visual, okay? They know how the process works, I'm sure.
Yeah, for those just listening, I pantomimed taking pregnancy
he did it like
test.
like a squat.
Yeah, squat.
Like a
I pulled up my
squat,
pants,
yeah.
like this.
It's very animalistic of you. So
Mm-hmm.
I never got to tell David. David just told himself. He was just there, a part of it. I think with Mila,
as soon as you,
I think with Mila, you looked at the pregnancy test first because I was too scared.
Yeah, like I was holding it for you while you peed on the stick. I was like, give it to me. Let me see.
Were you scared to
You're
look
like,
at
don't
it?
you want to put the cap on? I was like, no.
How sure were you that it was going to be negative? That's what I want to know. I was like 100% sure.
For which one?
For Mila.
For Mila?
Yeah, Ezra was completely out of the blue. But Mila, when I took the pregnancy test and Ezra was only 6 months old, like, I was like 100% no. 100%. I'm just doing this as a precaution. Okay.
Yeah, with Mila, I was like, there's no way it happened again. I was like, there's no way. And then it happened again. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess this is how babies are made, I guess. I think I get it.
Bitch, we sat there in silence. The
did.
silence was so loud.
We were like, how?
We first said how. We looked at each other like dumbfounded. Like we just played stupid and acted like we didn't understand how this could have possibly happened.
Yeah, it was.
But now here we are. Ezra's 5. Mila's about to be 4.
Now
It's crazy.
Now we can't have any more kids.
You sound
not
disappointed.
together anyway.
What the fuck does that mean?
That means if you get pregnant, I'll have some questions if that happens.
Ain't nobody getting pregnant. Trust.
Famous last words.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Sir, you will be taking care of me and my time of the month until the end of time. Okay, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Listen, we're just going to go down this road for a second.
Sure.
I was very annoyed when I was pregnant by the fact that bitches lied to me and told me that being pregnant was the most beautiful experience. Bitch, I hated being pregnant. My sister-in-law hated being pregnant. We just hated being pregnant together. Like everything.
It doesn't seem fun. I'm not going to lie.
It's just like so uncomfortable. And it's so like, it just takes so much out of you. And for the first time in your life, you just genuinely don't have control over your own body. And it's the weirdest sensation.
Like a
yes,
Republican inside of you.
What the fuck?
I don't know what that I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ezra ends up Republican. Like,
can we not? He would take after his grandpa.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Definitely.
That's why I'm not. That's why I wouldn't be surprised.
It's in his bloodline. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just be sure that you're sure. Okay. And I just want everybody to be aware. Like, it's not going to be comfortable. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And it's really cool that your body can do that. And it's a blessing and all of those things. But it sucks. Like, the middle part where you're not taking, like, photos and you're not having a baby shower. Like, there are moments where you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why? I don't understand. Like, I used to get beat up in my sleep from the inside. Like, David could literally feel the babies when they were, like, in the middle of the night, just doing gymnastics.
I'd be like, go, little guy.
And I could not sleep. And it made me so upset where I was, and like everything we eat, when we have to go to the bathroom, Ezra would pitch fits if I was like walking around for too long. So I couldn't go shopping.
Cause like I'd wake up in the morning like, and you'd just be up like pissed off. I'm like, what's wrong?
And no sleep. Like before they were even born, I was up at night.
I feel like, do you feel like it's a bad thing that like so many people like glamorize pregnancy, because like it kind of gives you a false sense of like, I don't know, expectations going into it, whereas if somebody would just off the rip was like, shit is hard as fuck.
Yeah, I definitely preferred like when like your sister, for example. Felicity was straight up with me. And like when she found out that I was pregnant, I remember she called me and she was like, it's gonna fucking suck, first of all, and you're not gonna be able to brush your teeth for a while without like completely throwing up your guts. So I suggest that you brush your teeth that night. Just get the thought of brushing your teeth in the morning out your head, because it ain't gonna happen. And I was like, what are you talking about? So like, now I can't even brush my teeth? Like, bitch, what? But you know, it's a beautiful thing. But I am going to be the one that, like, even with my glamazons, I'm telling y'all, it's a beautiful thing. But the interim, not so beautiful.
Yeah, people are like, it's so magical. You spend the first 3 months throwing up every 40 minutes.
Let me ask you this. Man, I already know the answer, I feel like, but I'm just curious.
You don't know.
I bet. Smack your teeth at me.
Ezra does it. No.
I know. That's where he gets it from, you.
I know.
Was there anybody that like talked to you about like expecting a child, like how to take care of a pregnant woman? Like, is there, you know how like we're prepared, we have like our moms or our tias or our sisters or friends that talk to us about this process. Is there anything that like is like even semi, you know, related to guys learning about pregnancy at all in any capacity ever in life?
You know, every time that like I had a child, you know, at work I'd put in like a paternity leave, or not. We didn't get paternity leave, but I'd have to take vacation time.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, you know, we're having a baby, so you know I'm gonna be off for this week. You know, just letting people know. And every time it'd be the same response. You guys would be like, are you having the baby? Or is she having the baby?
What?
I was like, what the fuck does that matter?
They suck.
Every single time I'd get the same.
Suck.
I was like, man. But yeah, they'd always be like, are you having the baby?
I really despise men like that.
So,
I really despise that.
That's kind of how like a lot of dudes view it, especially like older dudes.
Oh yeah, because they're part of the generation that would like just send their wives into the like the room in their house and then just sit out and smoke with their buddies and have whiskey by the fireplace while like you just hear your wife being torn up in two in the other room, and then you're like, where's my son? You know?
Yeah.
Like that's the shit that they come from, man. Like it's crazy how.
I will say though, men
disconnected.
Men in the delivery room, I think we're pretty useless. I think
you guys are useful if you stay in your place.
I try to like, I'm like, hey, I don't want to like get in the way of like the nurse is like carrying the baby, trying to cut the umbilical cord. I'm like this, like the umbilical cord's like wrapped around us. Like, all right, just turn around this way.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like just trying to stay out the way. That's probably
you're there for emotional support.
Yeah.
Because it's scary.
Yeah,
it's scary. And it's one of those things where you're like, you know how anything else in your life, you're like, you know what? I'm going to be all right. Like most people, they survive. And a lot of people, like they go through it. Like in every other scenario, like if you want to take a risk and go on a helicopter ride or something, like that's how we reason it. Like what is the risk? It's so scary to look it up. When I was pregnant for the first time and I was like, wow, I could really pass away from this. Like something bad could happen.
Why would you look that up?
Because I have to be prepared to know what's going to happen to my body, babe.
Yeah.
You can't just go in there and not know or expect anything. Like, and then of course, you know, I got my grandma, my mom, and like, you know, them talking to me. And I was like petrified.
See, in my head, I didn't even like think.
Oh my God.
About the
I know you didn't think. You don't think.
that you could die. Like I didn't even. I mean, I think I knew, but maybe I like just thought that, yeah, I mean, that's like when, you know, people rode wagons and shit. I don't know. You know, people on the Oregon Trail just popping out
Dude, I think it was this movie that we watched when I was a kid that put this into my head for the first time. Mm-hmm. And I think it was La Familia. It was like a Mexican movie, you know?
Yeah.
And there was a scene where this guy it showed like his birth and like whatever, and his mom died giving birth to him, and he never met his mom, and that shit stayed with me.
Yeah.
Like she lost so much blood and he never got to meet his mom, and it was the saddest. Like as a kid I saw that and I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah.
That happens? That happens?
Like imagine how bad you'd feel.
Like imagine like literally, babe, like somebody putting something inside you that's going to inevitably grow, and then you just know
like, my
that
bad.
The process of getting that thing out of your body is like going to be excruciating.
Like
and you just know it, and it's like a countdown.
But there's like two ways, but neither way is like ideal.
Yeah, right. Like
oh yeah, that
both ways are
frightening.
Just like, it's crazy scary, and it is like one of the only things in your life where you have to like prepare yourself.
I can't even imagine, because like I know I'm not tough enough for that, and I'm not trying to compare the two, but like I've been constipated before.
Oh my God.
You know, like I've been constipated before and been terrified at the thought that like eventually this is going to have to come out. You know, like.
Well, you did that to yourself.
I'm, like I said, I'm not trying to compare the two, but the emotions.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I could imagine dying for this piece of shit. Like,
no, yeah. So, well, wow, we took our 69th episode a totally different way. You know what? That's what happens.
Yeah. Hey, this is
that's what it leads to.
This is a PSA.
You need to be aware, okay, of what y'all doing. Y'all can't just be doing the hanky panky out here.
Just stick to 69, and then you won't have.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You won't get pregnant.
Man, yeah. So
anal,
but they're blessings. So it's so funny. Have you ever talked to your friends about anal?
I thought you were gonna ask me a whole different question.
No. Have you ever asked like your friends if like about anal?
No, I have not.
Not like if y'all have had it or not. Like no. my friends and I have talked about this. You're fucking lying. Be so for real on this episode for the one time.
No.
Babe, you're gonna sit up here and try to
Guys
tell me
like
that you've
man.
Never talked to like anybody.
Girls have the disgusting conversations. Dudes, we argue about
y'all don't
dumb
have
shit.
Disgusting conversations. Who do you think that you're lying to right now?
It's usually like older dudes.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm being so for real. They're the most.
It doesn't matter how old you are. Y'all are nasty.
No, for real. These older dudes that are like single and freshly divorced, they're the most oversharing motherfuckers you'll ever meet. They'll be like trying to show you nudes on their flip phones of like other 60-year-old women. You're like, what? Come on, man.
Can we talk about hold up? Because like no shade, no tea.
Who,
okay.
Me?
No shade, no tea. Just wait it out. Okay. Your Uncle Chris. The amount of women that he was showing me on his phone, and he came there with his girlfriend. I was like, Chris. Talking about, oh yeah, this little young thing is mine too. I was like,
Please. See what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
You're like, what? We're at my sister's wedding. What are you doing?
It reminds me of that one part of Big Daddy where he's like, enjoy your old wrinkly
balls. He's got a 5-year plan. What is it? Not die?
Ooh, that was my movie.
That
was my movie.
Yeah, my Uncle Chris is like that, though. He, like I said, one time I was talking to him, he was like, oh, sad. He's like, my girlfriend just died. So I just been real beat up about it, you know. He thought like she died of cancer. I was like, damn, what are you doing now? And he's like, I'm picking up my girlfriend from work.
It'd be like that. And they are so nasty. Like some of the most upfront people that would hit on me when I was younger, especially, was old men. They don't care. Old men.
Every time I see my Uncle Chris, he has a different girlfriend. I'm not even joking. Every time I see him, he like, I don't know how he does it. I don't know. He's just got like some weird charm, I guess.
Well, I mean, I didn't believe it at first, not for any other reason besides like, no way. But I didn't realize it until, dude, David Steele, he got it around to the point where David's stepmom told me, she was like, he was with my cousin. And I was like, you lied. She was like, he was with my cousin.
Yeah, my uncle, my biological mom's brother was dating my stepmom's cousin for like the longest time. And
for like the longest time, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and my mom, my biological mom, she had a friend named Melanie.
Yeah.
He dated her.
He dated your mom's friend, your best friend.
My mom's like best friend. And then my mom had a boyfriend, and then he had a sister. And then my Uncle Chris decided to start dating his sister.
What?
Yeah, I'm telling you, this guy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this guy he's crazy, man.
Uncle Chris,
I don't know.
You better hide your wife or hide your girlfriends, because Uncle Chris gonna come into town.
Bro, I don't know how. I don't get it, man.
I think that if you were like single and older, you'd probably be the same way. Yeah. I had to snatch him off the streets, y'all. I had to snatch him real fast off the streets.
Maybe.
Because
he's got, what's Julian call it now? The Riz. He's got all the Riz.
Got all the Riz.
Does that sound like an old man saying that shit?
Yeah, kind of.
I got all the game.
Got all the game. We spitting game. I swear our children act like banshees when they know that we're recording.
I'm just going to ignore them.
And I can hear them.
I'm just going to neglect them. It's time.
They're down there with no supervision. No, I'm just kidding.
It's time. You got to be left home alone. You know what I mean? Just like I was when I was a kid.
Dude, it was so different.
It's times, you know, I was like, I had no business being 8 years old babysitting a baby.
Yeah, that was my brother, dude.
By myself.
That was my brother.
In the projects, like, what's my mom thinking?
Yeah, that was my brother. Yeah. Y'all had babies as babies. Shoot.
No wonder why my sister's dumb.
This is crazy because like didn't nobody. I told everybody I don't like kids. When I was a kid, I was like, I will not babysit. I will not babysit. I refuse to babysit.
I didn't think I'd babysit.
I never babysit. I was not babysitting.
You know what's funny? I had a sister. I didn't have a sister, but like,
okay,
my mom had my sister when I was like 5, and I was probably like 8, 9 years old babysitting her. I babysit her more than the sister that my dad had when I was 15.
Yeah.
I did more babysitting of my sister at 8 years old than I did of my sister at like 15, 16, 17 years old.
I believe that.
I was just like, I'm retired.
I've already raised my child.
You know, it's your turn to be the older sibling. Like,
whatever.
I did my time.
And you know what's so funny though is that, you know, David has his sister, y'all are 15 years apart, and she is so much like David.
Yeah.
She is so much like David, where I talk to her and the way that she responds to shit, and like she's hilarious. And I'm like, oh, you're just like your brother. And she's like, my parents tell me that all the time. I was like, you just like David. It's crazy.
Somebody had to be shit, you know. There had to be somebody else that was kind of a wild card, you know. Couldn't be the only one.
The wild card.
Yeah, you know.
That's great. You know what? I feel like all of us have like a label when we were kids, like how we were as kids versus how we turned out.
Yeah.
And so like I was the underestimated one. I was like the little nerd. That was who I was. I was.
Oh yeah.
Like I was fucking like invisible.
Oh.
I was invisible.
I'm
Ew.
just kidding. You're like, I was fucking. I was like, whoa.
I was invisible.
Oh, okay.
So that was my origin story. Okay. What was
invisible.
yours? Little annoying little shit.
No.
You sound a little defensive there.
Yeah, I was probably mostly that.
Were you were like the class clown?
I was hyper. When I was a kid, I was like really hyper. Not hyper, but like energetic. And I was always jumping, running, and just trying to find shit to climb and jump off of it. And like my older family, like my Uncle George, my Uncle Floyd, like they would get irritated with me.
Yeah, they're the one. Well, your Uncle George, he was the one that like had me. We've talked about this before. He had me really worried when I was pregnant with Ezra, because at this point in time, he decided it was necessary to tell me about my husband being a terror.
Yeah.
And being very bad. That's what he said.
I wasn't terrible. He said I was terrible.
He said David was terrible.
But that's not it. I was just...
That you didn't listen.
I entertained myself,
never listened. That he had to save your life multiple times because you kept pushing it on them stairs.
I would have made it.
He was like, he almost broke his arm.
Nah. I never broke a bone.
But you didn't listen. That was his biggest thing, is that you did not listen.
I was like, bro, let me do me, dude. Okay?
Did?
All right? Like, bro.
And see, I listened.
I haven't gotten hurt.
So well. I was like, Ezra. I listened. Mm-hmm.
Ezra does not listen.
Ezra listens when he's interested. Like, I could get Ezra to do all of the dishes if I just because he loves learning.
That's true.
And he loves learning processes and procedures. And once he learns it, he will do it to the T
if there's
every
like
time.
paperwork involved, he's like, I'm in.
Hell yeah, he's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, if there's like a chain of command and paperwork.
Or like if I tell him, like I can already tell. I was telling David this morning. I was like, you better get your shit together and get it together now, because we have two very different sons. Okay, Julian is my artist. All right, he's artistic. He loves making music. He's real laid back. He's the one that will go shopping with me at Target. He loves coming with mom. He loves going out with me all the time, right? And we used to get pedicures together all the time. Like that's my baby.
See?
But
he's emotional.
We are Aquariuses, okay?
Aquarii.
Okay, you wouldn't understand. You're not even close to our level, Pisces. Stay in your place, Pisces male. Need I bring up TikTok again to humble your ass?
No,
about how everybody feels about a Pisces man?
Bro, Nikki was like, you don't know about Pisces, man. And she like went on like TikTok, and apparently like the worst thing you can be as a man is like a Pisces. And it's like this fucking, like just a whole fucking thing on TikTok of like a bunch of chicks just like slandering Pisces men. And like, and what made me mad was like Nikki was going through and we're watching them and she was like liking some of them and like just keep scrolling. I'm like, what the fuck? And then
because
like,
all of it was true.
And then like I got to a good one and it was like, Pisces men are not that bad. They're pretty all right. And Nikki's like, nope. Just kept scrolling. I was like, you're not going to like that one?
Absolutely not. Because you're 1 out of 1,000. How you have no idea what you're talking about. I've been laying next to one for over 12 years now.
Know what the problem is?
You have the audacity to call us emotional. A Pisces man, boy, y'all feelings. And you and my brother is a Cancer. Ooh, him and David together. Oh my God.
The problem was they couldn't keep a Pisces man. That was... You know, they're just salty about it now.
Ooh.
Because they had one, but they couldn't keep it down, you know.
They couldn't keep it down. What does it take to keep a Pisces man, babe?
You know what it takes.
Inform me, what does it take? Well, what am I doing to keep you?
You got it.
What am I doing
I can't tell you.
Why not?
I can't tell you.
You don't know what you like.
You just got to keep doing it.
Huh.
You know what you're doing.
Wow.
This is episode 69, by the way.
Everybody loves. Oh, my God.
I'm trying to play coy now.
Everybody loves Aquarius.
I guess.
I mean, like, you know, we're just kind of we're really known for being flaky.
No, that just made
like
me
we'd
mad,
be like
man.
not like responding to text messages and stuff like that. Like we and Julian and I are both like that.
Made me so mad. You literally were like liking some of them. I was like, oh really? Then the good one,
because they were so relatable.
And then the good one, you're just like kept scrolling.
Because I felt
wow.
like she was not privy to the actual inner workings of being with a Pisces man.
God.
And any of y'all that have been with a Pisces man, tell me, you know what? And my best friend Simon, Pisces man. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And my best friend agrees with me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick beside him. Nah, he deals with my shit too. I'm an Aquarius. I don't know if I believe in it wholeheartedly. I be messing around with it, but like, I'm a lot to do with, so I know that. I'm aware.
The astrology stuff is, I was kind of like exposed to it at a young age because my auntie Sarah
she read
really
tarot cards or something.
Yeah, no, she's just like really into like the astrology shit.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a kid, she'd be like, "Oh, you're such a total Pisces," and then like my auntie Jen would be like, "I know," because they were like both into it.
Oh, your auntie Jen has talked to me about
My
that.
Uncle Jake was like all into it because he's gay.
Shut up, David.
He'd be like, he sure is, and I'm like, man, what does that even mean?
No, I kind of like was getting into it, and I was like, hey, there are a lot of like parallels and similarities, and hey, yeah, that does sound pretty familiar. Until, okay, I was like on a live, and people were asking me what my sign was, and I hadn't told anybody yet, and I was like, guess, whatever. And a lot of people were like, I forgot which one they guessed, and I was like, yeah, this is what I am, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm a Aries or whatever, just for example. And I started getting a bunch of comments. Oh yeah, like that explains why you're this and you're that. And I just kind of like let them go, and I was like, yeah, And I was like, I got y'all. I'm an Aquarius, dude. Like y'all don't even know. You see, like y'all just be. And then everybody in the comments was like, that is such an Aquarius thing to do. Yeah, you're totally. That was exactly what I was gonna say. And I was like, no, the fuck you weren't.
I don't know. I don't know too much about it. I don't know too much about it either. I do believe in stars, though.
Do you believe that they exist because you see them?
And constellations. I do believe in that part, for sure.
Yes.
I do believe in the universe.
Like, you believe in, like, Hercules and shit?
Do I believe Hercules existed?
Like, because, like, the constellations in association with, like, mythology.
Well, no, I don't believe mythology.
Okay. All right. Well, just asking.
Well, it depends. I mean, that's when you start getting into, like, the ancient aliens and shit, We're like, maybe
where do those cross? Hold up now.
Maybe some of this mythology, maybe some of it's real, maybe they just interpreted it as aliens, it's possible.
I don't know. It's weird shit. I don't even want to look in the sky nowadays because I'm afraid of what I'm gonna see.
Why? What are you afraid of?
It's just weird shit's happening in our skies. Like weird shit's happening all over the world.
Oh yeah, what I do is I just ignore it.
You ignore it. That's fantastic. Yeah. It's great. Well, it's great. I'm
like, well, if a hurricane hits Denver,
I heard that there's some sort of like fucking deadly mosquitoes now that crossed over our Florida border. Now we gotta be scared of like this mosquito when it bites you. Apparently, it makes you feel like your bones are breaking from the inside out.
Do you remember like the Zika virus and shit?
Yeah.
And then before that, it was like, what was it, West Nile? That was the thing when I was a kid. That like you get the West Nile. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I remember that.
I never got it.
You never got it. Great.
I got a bunch of shit by mosquitoes. I never got it. Yeah, that was like the main thing. And I don't know. I don't know if does it kill you. I don't even. Then Zika. I don't know. It's like mosquitoes come. They drop a new disease every couple of years. I feel like.
Baby, I feel like you don't know. Like everything, you're like, I don't know.
They're always in the lab cooking something up. Mosquitoes
in the lab.
They're up to no good, bro. They're always trying to drop a new disease, and I was like, I don't get it. And I don't know. I think they're kind of overrated. Watch, I died from like malaria or something.
Oh my gosh! So knock on wood or something, babe.
That's my worst fear is I die and there's like a tweet or like a video of me making fun of somebody else dying that same exact way. It's like one of my biggest fears.
That's one of your biggest fears.
Yeah, it's like my worst fear about dying.
To be wrong.
Like just somebody's like, look at this asshole. That's why I can't make fun of butthole related deaths.
So like, do you believe in superstitions? Like just now I said knock on wood. Yeah. I really believe, like, I don't know why. It's just kind of ingrained in me. I don't know if I actually believe it.
Like one of my
I have to do it.
Like one of my superstitions is not believing in superstitions. Like I gotta say that I don't believe in a superstition in order for it to like, happen or not happen.
I really don't understand what happens in your brain. So you don't believe in any superstition?
Yeah,
like the salt over the shoulder, the broken mirror, the walking under a ladder, knocking on wood, jinxing.
But I have to say I don't believe in that in order
But do you actually believe in it?
No.
So you believe in it enough to say that you don't believe in it, so that
my superstition is not being superstitious. That's how I feel.
I've literally seen you knock on wood.
I do that for you. What? You know what I think? Kind of like, I used to be superstitious, but then like I started working in construction.
Yeah.
And they're like, I was like, oh, there would only be like one way to get somewhere, and I'd be like, I gotta walk under this ladder. And I was like, I don't think I should. And eventually, you're tired of like walking around shit. And you're like, fuck it, and you just start walking underneath every ladder.
Well, what about this? Say we're walking down the street. Visualize it.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, we come across a pole.
Yeah.
Do you believe in going around the pole together, or letting go of each other and going around separately?
Don't split the pole.
Oh, so you are superstitious. That's exactly what I thought.
Don't split the pole.
Don't split the pole.
I'm like, all right. You know, because there's no like superstition that's like, that counters it. Like, no, it's actually bad luck if you don't split the pole. You know what I mean?
I sincerely believed in the step on a crack, break your mama's back when I was a kid.
I didn't believe that.
I believed that wholeheartedly for
a minute.
You know what?
One I got made to believe, my stepmom, she was like, when I was a kid, I spilled some salt. And then she was like,
you would.
And she was like, don't spill salt. And I was like, why? And she's like, because when you die, God's going to make you pick up all that salt with your eyes. I was like, what? That sounds crazy.
What?
Like,
wait.
Thank God for these eyelashes. I'll get it done in no time.
Yeah, you can just sweep them up with your eyelashes.
Yeah.
Okay, you already have like a.
Just scoop them up like a snow
you got
shovel.
It like a grass blower, like a freaking leaf blower.
Yeah,
so they're so powerful.
Yeah.
Pick up each
grain of salt
with your eyes. What in the Dante's Inferno
I don't know.
shit
That's what
is
I was
that?
thinking.
Speaking of, have you seen Doja Cat's new video?
No.
Oh my God, I haven't either. I don't know if it's superstition or just like it goes against like everything that is in me as far as like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. I don't like it. The visuals make me uncomfy. I don't like it. It goes against my faith. I was just like, hold up now. Have you even seen like the still shots of this video? I've seen snippets on TikTok of like people kind of like reacting to it. But I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I should watch the entire video, but what I have seen, it has looked so dark.
I think I'm just kind of like, I don't know, immune to Doja Cat doing weird shit, I guess.
But it's not just Doja Cat. I feel like it's been kind of like it's been a pattern across.
Remember like Kim Kardashian was like topless all the time? After a while, you're like, let me know when she's not topless.
Okay, I don't think that's the same as seeing like the devil everywhere and like dark stuff everywhere. Everywhere. Like it's everywhere. Like Sam Smith. We had like, Travis Scott. We got, just like these different celebrities that are utilizing this. It's just this particular imagery, bitch, where all I'm seeing is darkness and reds and blacks and horns and hooves. And I feel like it's why?
Heavy metal's been doing that shit forever.
Heavy metal.
Yeah. So I feel like Satan imagery in music it's not unique or new. I feel
but most times like heavy metal isn't like marketed towards young teenagers or younger kids. Well, typically speaking, a lot of younger kids, like I'm talking about, 7, 8 preteens and stuff like that. There are not as many of them that are into like heavy metal than pop culture. Pop culture is way more, vast amongst the youngins.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm sure
you're telling me that you don't feel like there's any like spiritual
like amongst
anything
amongst young kids that like, in our demographic, but in other demographics, those are the kids that get they get exposed to rock, heavy metal, shit like that. That has a lot of. I don't know if it does now, but
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm not comfortable.
I feel like those artists, they just kind of like rely on it for like shock value, I guess, just to get talked about, like Doja Cat is right now. I mean,
she was getting talked about a lot before.
Yeah, she's always doing weird shit.
No, before she was doing weird shit. Like,
Not like
that
now,
era
though.
of Doja Cat. Yes, babe. Like, she was literally going
It is a
viral all
proven
over
fact.
TikTok. Every song that she was dropping, y'all tell him.
No, I'm not
Every
saying
song
she
that she
wasn't-
was dropping before she started doing this, viral.
But she wasn't getting, but like she wasn't getting talked about to this degree, you know, outside of music. Like any conversation around Doja Cat was like about her music. But
No,
like
'cause
once, once a lady shaves her head, then everybody's like, this lady's losing it. And then they get talked about.
No, that's not necessarily true. Doja Cat was like always the person that was very down to earth. She always did lives. She always did like chats. She always was like, you know, all over everywhere. Like, so she had a lot of going on around her without all of
she was
that.
a huge megastar. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So I don't think my point is that I don't feel like she needed the extraness in order to get to where.
I don't know. I don't know where she's coming from with it, but
I think call me crazy, okay? Y'all let me know if you're Team Nikki or Team David on this topic, because I feel like there's something a little bit more sinister and a little bit.
You think like there's more of like a spiritual part of?
Absolutely, I do. I do. And I think music is a very powerful tool. And I think that it penetrates your spirit and your soul. And that's why, you know, the things that we hear, you know, it can really determine our mood. Yeah. You know, uplifting music and motivational music. And that's why we go to music to clean the house, go to the gym, you know, get to work. We listen to music all the time. Yeah. And honestly, I know for a fact that like if I listen to like, when I was listening to Tony Braxton all the time, girl, I felt heartbroken all the time. But when I listened to like, you know, uplifting music or like, you know, just like, you like really, you know, your lips are moving, like just like higher energy music, I tend to feel better or tend to have higher energy. I really do feel, and like there's so many like scientifically backed research of talking about like hertz and the way things hit our ears, and like, you know, they utilize that information in music. To get a certain reaction out of you or a like certain feeling.
Frequencies and that produce. Yeah.
So I think music can have a heavy impact on you know how you feel. So just be careful. I'm team don't do it, don't look at it, and don't participate. I will not. No. I will not.
It's funny because like when I play like football before games, I would listen to like calming music.
See, I would be listening to hype music.
I didn't like it.
I loved hype music.
I like to calm.
I need to feel like I'm about to step out and like be the next Rocky Balboa or some shit. I used to be at the bus stop just hyping myself up all the time.
There'd be some dudes like that, like in the locker room, just bumping like crazy heavy metal. Because
it's crazy. I used to like fucking walk and run miles, bitch, miles. And the only way that I was able to do that was to have like some just like very like heavy inspirational. Sometimes I would have like that inspirational. It's not music. It's just like somebody talking, like a dude talking, telling you to get your ass up and like, you know, like you got to grind. And when they're sleeping, you need to be awake. And like, you know, the best way to get back. I just, you know.
If you needed somebody to just.
Hell no, man.
If you needed somebody to verbally berate you, I could do that for you.
Careful. People might think that you're mean to me. No, you know what? And I've said this before, David and my brother made me cry at the gym because y'all like, and it wasn't anything like being at the gym can be really emotional because you're like pushing yourself and sometimes you can't push yourself to where you want to. Anyways, it's really hard to go with them because they have no mercy. David's father is a like bodybuilder, been in competitions and shit. So David's been in sports all his life. So he just has like no mercy. And my brother is very, very similar in that way where working out, he just doesn't have any mercy. And I don't think that my brother doesn't see me as a girl.
I think your brother is more intense with the weightlifting than I was.
My brother was so like.
So you get on my ass, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, like.
He'd be like, one more, that wasn't good enough. I'm like, man.
You would cheat every time. You would not want to do your full 10. Set. We would be like, give us 8 or give us 12. And David would stop at like 6 or 7 and think that we didn't notice. And I kept catching him doing that all the time. So I get why my brother was doing that because you were always trying to.
I'm not going to lie. Sometimes early. I would just like lose count. And then just guess.
What else are you thinking about when you're pumping heavy ass shit?
I'd be getting bored when I'm weightlifting. I'm like,
So you know we're getting back into shape. All right. We are going to be spending these winter months and fall months and winter months getting in shape, bitch. It's a lifestyle change, okay? This isn't just going to be an era. This is going to be lifestyle. Because, I miss just the peak of my fitness, I think, to me, 2 times. Once, the first time was when I met David. Okay, after I met him, I got all comfortable, laying on the couch with him, watching Supernatural all day, all night, eating snacks and stuff. But when I met him, I mean, he tried it for a little bit. He really tried it because, you know, he was like trying to stay with a bitch. But he tried going running with me a few times. I remember this. Do you remember this? Around the Capitol. And, you know, we did it like maybe like 2 or 3 times. And then like somehow, some way, girl, like he would just convince me and just be like, let's cuddle, babe. Like, look, this is so comfortable over here. Yeah. And I stopped and I would run. I'd be doing yoga in the park. I was that one. And then the second time was when I was working out with you and my brother. I got into insane shape at that time.
Yeah, it's hard to get in shape, especially when you got kids. And
yeah.
I think the hardest part about getting in shape is the diet. The diet part is the hardest part for me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, I don't have a problem weightlifting or doing cardio, but fuck, the eating part, I'm just like,
and we're picking a great time because like holidays are coming around. We're acting like this isn't going to be hard.
I'm like, luckily, like groceries are so expensive.
Dude, for real.
Force me to get in shape.
Oh my gosh. I'm even like looking at like the meals that we used to get as kids to save money. And it was always fideo or like a sopa like that. Or and rice, beans, obviously, and then cornbread, and all of those things have been marked up. Even those things have been marked up, and like just everything,
crazy,
everything is so expensive.
Do you remember Cribs, the TV show?
Yeah, of course.
If they did Cribs today,
dude,
it'd be like rappers showing off their fridge. It'd be like, I got 3 cartons of eggs. 7 things of strawberries.
It's crazy because the celebrities back then, they would be like, this is my $1.2 million house. And I'd be like, oh my God, that is so much money.
Yeah. Because it was like a mansion.
Yeah, it was like a legit mansion with like 16 rooms.
And with a butler.
And like a fucking theater and shit. And like waterfall in the middle and a fucking basketball court. And now that shit's going for like $60 million.
Like this mansion even comes with a dead butler that haunts it and serves me. But you don't know he's dead until the end.
I want to do some really fun, spooky shit this year for Halloween.
Like what?
I talk about being superstitious. No, but I want to probably, maybe go to the Stanley Hotel. Finally, I've been trying to go for like years, but you know, a bitch was pregnant and shit. And
you know, I've never been there.
I
lived here my whole life.
I know.
I have never been
Hardly went to the mountains, never went snowboarding. Like, you wouldn't even think that he's from Colorado with the way he acts.
It's because my people...
Your people.
We don't fuck with the mountains.
Y'all were supposed to stay in Texas. That's what y'all were supposed to do.
We do not fuck with the mountains.
His dad is from Texas. He, like, straight up, like, we hail from around the same place.
Hey, my mom's family, that part from Mexico. Like
so that they come directly from Mexico to Colorado with no stops in between? Is that what you're saying? I guarantee you, in somewhere in your mom's lineage, they stopped in Texas for a bit. I bet you. Or New Mexico. I bet you. I could put my life on it.
Maybe. I bet you. I think they came straight here. I don't think they went anywhere else. Straight to Denver. Straight to D-Town, baby. And then
D-Town is Dallas. You better back up.
No, it isn't.
What are you talking about?
Nobody north of the Mason-Dixon line calls it that.
North of the what?
What I said, Mason-Dixon. Mason-Dixon. The slavery line.
What are you talking about?
Mason-Dixon.
What are you
The Mason-Dixon line. Wait, Mason-Dixon? It's not Mason. You'll make me look it up. It's the Mason-Dixie. Mason-Dixon. Let's see, Mason.
Like the Winn-Dixie?
Yeah, the Mason-Dixon line.
Oh, okay.
Nobody north of the Mason-Dixon line refers to Dallas as D-Town. Up north, it's Detroit.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But never Denver. Never Denver.
No,
y'all be trying it.
Denver's not D-Town. We're Mile High City,
y'all
baby.
Mile High City, 303. Mm-hmm.
What else? Queen City of the West or something like that.
What?
Mm-hmm. Wall Street of the West.
Wow.
I think that's us.
Well, all I know is that we are built like a square, bitch, and we have
We
no.
don't fuck with the mountains though. That's all I'm saying. I come from tropical people, bro.
Dude, coming from Texas, you know, like when I was a kid, I used to try to draw Texas, which is like literally one of the most difficult states to draw. And then when I came here to Colorado, I was like kind of disappointed. I was like, even if y'all wanted to get, like, what do y'all do if y'all want to get a tattoo of your state? You know, everybody in Texas always gets like a tattoo.
It's one of my struggles, yeah.
What you gonna get like a?
My worst fear is I get a tattoo like Colorado and somebody's like Wyoming. I'm like, fuck you. Just call it. I'd rather somebody just call it a square. Fuck say it's Wyoming. Eat my fucking ass.
That is my issue, dude. I can't stand it.
It is part of my struggle, man.
I think
I want to get a cool tattoo like every other Mexican, the state you're from, you know. Like
You're
dudes from like California, they got cool ones, you know. Like this is a unique shape of California with like palm trees.
Dude, you're gonna have
shit.
to just get the square and then just put like mountains and stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like pine trees and shit, you know.
I think that's the only thing that you guys can do, honestly.
That'd be pretty cool.
Maybe put some cows in there.
Some cows. Now check this out. I was driving down the street by our house, right? I was driving down the other day. I think I got us like McDonald's or something. I was coming back.
Yeah, you saw them cows out there?
No.
Oh, I saw some
I
cows.
saw these construction workers riding a horse.
They're riding horses.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yup. So when David and I first got
That
together, he
OSHA
used to give
approved?
me so much shit for being from Texas and like, you know, just the typical cowboy shit. And I was like, you know what? I see more horse riding in these streets than I ever did in Dallas.
I don't believe that. There's no
It's
way.
so true. I said Dallas because that is where I'm from. But I ain't never
literally have
seen
a team
so
called
many
the
horse
Cowboys.
hooves on this here pavement than I have in Colorado. Girl,
we do have a team called the Broncos.
the Broncos.
Yeah.
And then like same, I was like, you know, coming off the highway, headed home, and I just see a pasture just of a bunch of cows just chilling, just right there. And I was like, okay, all right, cool.
It's pretty cool.
You know?
I might ride one day.
I don't think you should ride a cow, babe. I don't think you should do that. But there ain't nothing more country than my cousins being in Arkansas when they were kids, and they used to cow tip. And I've never been cow tipping. I was not up in the country like
Never
that.
done that. No.
But they had come home and they told me about cow tipping with their little friends, and I was like, y'all are weird. What? You wouldn't catch me dead in a anywhere where near cows. Things.
Do they got to kill the cows when they do that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The science behind it at all.
I don't know. I used to work with this dude from Missouri. He looked like our foreman used to call him Baby Huey.
My mom.
He was like this big old, like fat bald white dude, like with these big old ears, and he was like kind of slow, like he was dumb.
Oh,
he was kind of dumb.
Dang.
And he had like this thick, sounded like Mater from Cars.
Oh yeah.
And he's just so dumb. And then our foreman, his name is Ruben. He'd be like fucking Baby Huey, get over here. You fucking gonna cry? Like, it's like this old Chicano dude. He's just always clowning him.
Dude, my cousins used to call people Baby Huey all the time.
He looked like a Baby Huey. I was like, I don't know the reference, but yeah, that
That's
seems
so
fitting.
funny.
Like,
that is hilarious.
And he was only like 20, 21, 22.
Man,
But he looked so old. I was like, yeah, he looked like an old baby.
that's ew. Okay. Did you ever think that you were gonna like? How the hell did we end up in each other's lives? Can you tell me?
I don't
Because
know.
when I was a kid, I really thought Texas is so big. My family had not ever dated outside of the state of Texas.
Well, you know.
Yeah. I would have never thought as a little girl that I would have married a man from Colorado. It just wasn't on my bingo card. I'm gonna be real. You know, it never came up in MASH. You know what I mean?
Like the most typical Coloradan too.
You're not typical. You're special.
No.
You're unique, and I love you.
I'm not.
I love my Denver man.
If you were to put me in a lineup with like 100 other dudes from Denver,
I'd find you immediately by your eyelashes.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
100%.
The slightly...
I need the pretty eyes. Thank you.
The one that looks like you to get stopped at the airport.
The one that's dressed head to toe in Broncos, but somehow he's not matching. That one.
Excuse me? How? What do you mean? It's so easy. Blue and orange. It's not that hard. It's like I'm wearing blue and orange with like red pants or something.
You guys hear him getting on defensive? You can't even talk about it.
Can be that blatant.
Talk about it. Yo, because you'll wear the highlighter orange that don't match with any other orange.
I don't even like, okay, I'm wearing an orange hat right now, but other than that, I don't like wearing orange really. The blue, I like wearing the blue. I don't like wearing the orange. The orange jerseys are ugly as shit. I don't like them. I hate them.
And see, I just innately love the colors of the Dallas Cowboys a lot more than
They're
the
cool.
Broncos.
Nah.
Babe, let's be real. Come on now.
Mm.
Come on.
Something about that orange, man. It just pops, you know?
Yeah, pops in all the wrong ways. Everybody,
why-
I think it was just like for a little bit that they changed it and everybody was like, why the fuck do I look like a fucking highlighter, bro? And I was like, nah, y'all do. That's crazy.
Nike, like the burnt orange is
I like
better.
that one, yes.
You know what I mean? But like
Yes.
Nike for some reason was like, let's go highlighter orange. I
Yeah.
was like, what the, why? It's like why?
Giving
so
people PTSD
ugly.
from college and shit.
But like
Like,
the Broncos blue jerseys, tough. The white ones, tough. And then like the cool thing is, like when they do play in places like when they do play in like in Dallas, you can tell like when Broncos fans take over the stadium because it's just the crowd is just orange. And that's the cool thing about it. Like it's very visible when
You
it
guys
takes
are
over
just
the
annoying.
stadiums. Yeah, it's just obnoxiously loud.
I have a proposition for you. I understand that Sunday and Monday football is coming. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The hour is upon us.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to create an agreement, seeing as how I don't really care about the date or the time, but I'm expecting about every week you're going to be watching football, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm good with that. But I would like a date night every Friday during the football season. I need some time with my mans, with just you and me. And I want a date night every Friday. If you do not give me Saturday, I thought Saturday was going to be for the kids. You know?
Well, yeah, but it'll be home in time.
I feel like Friday night is perfect, babe.
I do comedy Friday nights.
Well, why can't I? Okay. Wow.
Well, I don't want to waste our date night.
It's not a waste.
comedy.
It's not a waste.
Like,
It's not a waste.
That's not really like a date. Like, hey, you want to come watch me do this thing?
I like comedy show, but is it going to be like a comedy show?
No.
Or stand-up?
They're open mics.
Oh, open mics.
Terrible. It's like a job.
Fine, Saturdays.
Saturday.
I want a
For
date
sure, yeah.
night, an actual date night, babe,
Of course, yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
And if the date night doesn't happen, then I have full right to say, oh, well, we're like busy and like, because I have to take care of everything on Sundays whenever you're watching TV or whenever you're watching football, which is like, you know, the kitchen and the kids and everything so that you can enjoy your game. And also, you know, sometimes ordering pizza and stuff like that. Like I love you and I love your hobbies and I love what you're interested in. But I just really want to make sure that we're on the same page because, you know, like I just want to have my time with you as well.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, like, is it like beneficial for like guys who are really interested in football? Do you guys want your wives or your girlfriends around that don't really watch football, but do you guys just like them being around, or would you just prefer to like not have them around? Because like sometimes you've given me a little bit of a tude when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go shopping, and you're like, okay, and like,
no, I don't feel like I'm fun to watch football with.
why? Because you get all super like sassy.
Yeah, because I get like really into the game, and then like I'm tweeting about it, and then like I'm also I like to live tweet games. That's like the thing that I like to do.
I'm aware.
And I just love being like so just ridiculous while I'm watching the games and reacting to it, like just being over the top, either all the way like far left positive or all the way just negative. Like there's no in between. So I like being extreme, and I don't feel like I'm a fun person to watch football with.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like I remember when we were watching the Super Bowl, and I was like really into the game, and my sister's husband Cody was asking me questions and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You get so intense.
So I don't view myself as a fun person.
So
to, like,
I'm
watch
only
football
asking so that Mila and I can dip and go to TJ Maxx or Home Goods.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. And like Khadijah and I get a lot of shopping done and stuff when the games are on because, men.
No, that's cool. I mean, yeah.
But I just, there have been times when you're like, baby, you want to watch it with me? I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind watching it with you.
Okay, you need to pick what.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not like, oh, really wish you were into sports like me. Sometimes I'm like glad that one of us isn't that into sports.
Really?
Yeah, because
the pick me girls be like, I'm so into sports and I really love football. Now the guys love me because I really love football.
I mean, I'm sure there's some guys.
But then when they come around the dudes, then like guys like they just spend all their time just like quizzing them.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I don't like that because there's dudes that are mostly dudes are dumb as shit too when it comes to sports.
I noticed that one time when I was like, I really was trying to take an interest in your interests, right? And I was working at the insurance company, and I had just heard you had told me something. It was like this huge thing that was going on. Long story short, the guy that was in my office, I knew more about the situation than he did.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment that I was like, wow, you guys really don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. This is crazy.
Especially if you are like really follow sports, especially on Twitter. And then you talk to somebody that's not on Twitter about sports, you feel kind of like a snob because you realize you're so behind on your information. Like this one guy at work was like, so what kind of year do you think Peyton Manning's going to have this year? And I was like, motherfucker, he's been retired for 3 years.
You know how I stay up to date?
Oh.
Getting in the truck because you never change it from sports talk radio. So I'll be listening to it for like a good 10 minutes, and then I just regurgitate the information, and David's all like impressed, and he's like, oh, wow.
I was like, where'd you hear that?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know. I don't always laugh. I mean, because like there's dudes that are like, I don't know, sports personalities or whatever on TV, and they're dumb as shit. Like
David's trying to secretly say like people that he be fighting with and stuff. That's the thing. Like I got really annoyed when that whole shit happened with McManus, and he fucking annoyed the shit out of me, and then sent me a stupid fucking apology after pissing me the fuck off. Oh, I was so mad. I was like,
well,
so after that, it just put a bad taste in my mouth.
That all stemmed from me just.
From you being a little shit too, babe. You be talking shit all the time.
Not even. All I said was.
And getting under these boys' skin.
But you know what? All I said was he's not a good kicker, which statistically he's not. And
he did search his own name.
You know what I'm saying? And he searched his own name. I don't at these guys. I don't harass people. You know what I'm saying? But he comes into my mentions like, why am I? Because like I don't know, Broncos fans have this thing with like kissing players' asses because they want to be friends with them. I don't care about none of that. I just want the Broncos to win. I just want them to have good players and win. I don't care about being friends with players and shit. I don't care about none of that. I don't need that.
I got to the point where every time he missed a kick,
I was laughing.
Everybody was like adding David. And then they started adding me because like, oh girl, it was a mess.
I was like, yeah, I'm watching. I know.
Don't ever tell me that men ain't emotional.
And then the Broncos cut him. Everybody was just adding me. I was like, oh my God. I'm aware. It's a little overdue, but I'm aware, man.
He got on my nerves.
Yeah, I'm like sports talk radio here in Denver was like talking about it.
It was so embarrassing, bitch. It was so embarrassing. I was like, I really,
what?
please.
And then like I see people in person, they'd be like, oh man, what about this whole McManus shit? I was like, I really don't care.
Nothing.
Here's the thing, like once I'm off of Twitter, like I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care. Like, but why is all of a sudden like, if I criticize you, then people get all butthurt about it? What is it about me specifically?
Specifically.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, stop being a little shit on the internet. With that being said, y'all follow us on our socials for some behind the scenes ratchetness.
You make kicks. you make all the field goals. And,
don't forget to follow us at the HISxHERS Pod. And of course, you can find David at I'm David Cisneros and me at the Nikki Glamour across all social media. We love y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode because we sure love talking to y'all. Definitely let us know your thoughts down below, and we will be back to start your week off right this coming Monday. So definitely tune in anywhere that you enjoy your podcast. We love y'all, and we will see you guys on the flip side. Peace out.
Peace.
Wow. God, David.
So sorry.
Peace.